Good evening, all of you. Are you hearing me? Kushi?
Good evening, sir.
Check in Google Classroom. I shared thermodynamics past year CET questions. Likita, read first question.
A mixture of 2 moles of carbon monoxide and 1 mole of oxygen in a closed vessel is ignited to convert the carbon monoxide to the carbon dioxide. If delta H is the enthalpy change and delta E is the change in internal energy, then
So mixture of 2 moles of carbon monoxide and 1 mole of oxygen. It is a combustion reaction. Two moles of carbon monoxide, 1 mole of oxygen gives 2 moles of carbon dioxide. So delta H is negative only. It is exothermic reaction. And also it is spontaneous process. Combustion of almost all carbon compounds are spontaneous process. So your answer is delta H is the enthalpy change and delta E is the change in internal energy then. So we are taking these are in a closed vessel. So heat is released. That released heat is coming outside. So heat is coming outside. So enthalpy is having lesser value than change in internal energy, correct? So here delta H is okay, heat releases, but this is we are taking in a closed vessel, but energy can exchange in closed vessel. That's what delta H becomes decreased, but delta E is remains same. That's what delta E is greater than, internal energy is greater than delta H. See, second one, the cooling in a refrigerator is due to. Cooling in refrigerator is due to. Reaction of the refrigerator gas? No. Expansion of ice? No, it's also wrong. The expansion of the gas in the refrigerator. This is correct. This is only we are calling a Joule-Thomson effect. So in Joule-Thomson effect, suppose I'm taking two chambers. Here is another chamber with big volume, high volume it is. Suppose here gas is enclosed under high pressure. So this temperature is suppose T1. So under high pressure, gas is enclosed. So it having high temperature. Whenever this gas is allowed to expand in large volume, then its temperature increases or decreases. Think practically. Suppose while cooking food also in pressure cooker, the the moisture, the water vapor, when it is in inside, it having high temperature. Its temperature is very high. When it is coming out from vessel and it is expanding, I think here we feel that water vapor is cool, right? When the moisture is and water vapor is inside the pressure cooker, it's very hot. Think almost equal to burning coke, burning coal. How much hot? That much maintains this water vapor also. When it is coming out under high pressure to coming out low pressure, gas is expanding and its temperature also decreases. That is only Joule-Thomson effect. When gas is going to expand, its temperature becomes decreases. So same principle is involved in refrigerator also. The expansion of the gas in the refrigerator. So C is correct here. Okay, next third one. For a system in equilibrium, delta G is equal to 0 under conditions of constant. So here delta G is 0. We discussed already about this. If delta G is negative, spontaneous. Delta G is equal to positive, non-spontaneous. If delta G is equal to 0, equilibrium. Now system is at equilibrium. So when system is in equilibrium, during the process, okay, there is no change in the concentration at constant temperature and pressure. If we maintain constant temperature and pressure, at that stage only equilibrium is attained. We will see the topic in next chapter, equilibrium. So at equilibrium, temperature and pressure of the system is constant. So A is correct here. Fourth one, molar heat of vaporization of a liquid is, so that is a molar heat of vaporization, enthalpy of vaporization, that is 6 kilojoule per mole. If the entropy change is 16 joule per mole, so delta S is 16 joule per mole. So mole inverse, Kelvin inverse. The boiling point of the liquid is, so what is its boiling point? So yesterday I gave you formulas. Delta S is equal to, this is not simple delta, this is change in entropy of vaporization is equal to enthalpy of vaporization by temperature at its boiling point. I gave you yesterday formulas, check. They substitute these values. Now TB is equal to enthalpy of vaporization 6 kilojoule per mole. Convert into joules, 6000 joule per mole divided by 16. Value is B is the correct answer, 375. 375 kelvins. Next, fifth one. The temperature of the system decreases in an. So temperature of the system decreases in an. A is adiabatic compression. Adiabatic compression. So during compression, in adiabatic process, temperature of the system is generally increases. Actually, heat of the system keeping constant here, adiabatic process. But if we compress that gas, the temperature of the gas is increased. Volume decreases, so temperature increases. In isothermal compression, an isothermal process, we are maintaining temperature constant. Isothermal expansion, yes. Isothermal expansion. Here also temperature of the system we are maintaining constant. So D is adiabatic expansion. This is only again comes under Joule-Thomson effect. Adiabatic expansion, yes. Or D is correct here. Sixth question. 0.06 mole of potassium nitrate solid is added to 100 centimeter cube of water at 298 Kelvin. The enthalpy of potassium nitrate aqueous solution is 35.8 kilojoule per mole. After the solution is dissolved, the temperature of the solution will be, okay, what is the temperature of the solution? Number of moles of KNO3 is equal to 0.06 mole. And the enthalpy of KNO3, okay, when KNO3 is dissolved in water, if 1 mole (35.8 kilojoule per mole). So this much amount of heat is absorbed. So this is delta H, positive value only. Delta H is positive value, 35.8 kilojoule per mole. That is for 1 mole. If it is for 0.06 mole, multiply that. (35.8 into 0.06). Multiply this value. How much? 2.148. Okay. 2.148 kilojoule of heat. So convert this into joules. 2,148 joules. This much amount of heat is absorbed. So 0.06 moles of KNO3 is dissolved in water. In water amount is 100 ml. This much amount of heat is absorbed. We know formula: heat is equal to mass of the substance and a specific capacity into delta T. Q is equal to, this is the amount, 2148 joules of heat is absorbed by 100 ml of solution. Here heat capacity of water is heat capacity of water 4.184. The fixed heat capacity of water into delta T. We have to calculate temperature difference. So delta T value comes 5. Kelvins. Okay. This is actually endothermic process. Endothermic process it is at 298 Kelvin. Actually, the process is carried out, see in the question, it is carried out at 298 Kelvin. And the process is endothermic, means temperature decreases. After the solute is added to the temperature of the solution will be, okay. Then temperature of solution becomes 298 minus 5. It gives 293 Kelvin. So this is the answer. Suppose if it is exothermic, we have to add that plus 5. Temperature increases if the process is exothermic. See question number 7. For a reaction to be spontaneous at all temperatures. So at all temperature, a process to become spontaneous. We know Gibbs free energy relation. Delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. So if we get delta G is equal to negative, then it is spontaneous. It becomes spontaneous. So at which conditions delta G is equal to becomes a negative value? If delta H must be negative, means process should be exothermic process. And if delta S is positive, if delta S is positive, minus into plus, minus only. So then overall value becomes negative sign. So delta S should be positive. These two conditions supports at any temperature. You take at any temperature, delta H is negative. If delta S is positive, delta G becomes negative. Check that option is there or not. Delta G and delta H should be negative. Okay, that option is not given. Anyhow, for the reaction to be spontaneous at all temperatures, delta G and delta H should be negative. That is okay. That's also fine. Delta G is negative and delta H also negative, also accepted. 7th one A. Okay, just wait. This one tabular form I will explain about this. Delta H value, delta S value, temperature, and delta G value. See, if delta H is negative, delta S is positive, substitute here. Delta H is negative sign, delta S is positive. Delta H negative, here positive, minus into plus, minus only. So then overall value also minus. So delta G negative value only. So temperature, any temperature. Any temperature, spontaneous process. Any temperature, process becomes spontaneous. Okay, next. Delta H is positive. Delta S is negative. Delta H is positive sign here. delta S is negative, minus into minus it will become plus, then overall value also becomes positive only. So if delta H is positive, delta S is negative at any temperature, delta G becomes positive, so non-spontaneous. It becomes non-spontaneous. So in these two conditions, temperature not affecting. Suppose delta H is negative, delta S also negative. Here, so this is negative, fine. This is also negative, 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 it will become plus. So this delta H value is negative sign coming, this overall value coming positive. In this case, temperature difference. If temperature is low, means the overall this value, positive value, that's maintaining low value, small value. Delta H is maintaining negative value, big value. So delta G becomes negative. Then spontaneous. Oh, one point you think carefully here. Here delta H is negative means it is exothermic process, right? Exothermic process. Exothermic process becomes spontaneous at low temperature only. That's what, if any exothermic process while carrying, suppose the dissolution of, or while making a dilute H2SO4 also, we are taking water in big beaker and drop by drop we are adding H2SO4, and it is better to maintain ice bath to make process spontaneous. Better to maintain ice bath, because this is actually exothermic reaction, addition of water H2SO4 to water is exothermic process. To become this exothermic process spontaneous means the process to carry out smoothly, we need to maintain low temperature. That's what taking here ice bath. Same using ice bath only while preparing NaOH solution also. This is also exothermic process. Dissolution of NaOH in water is exothermic. To carry out this process smoothly, we need to maintain ice bath. Okay, suppose same condition, this is a negative, this is also negative. If temperature is high, then this becomes non-spontaneous. Next, delta H is positive, delta S also positive. Here, right, this is positive. Yes, correct. High temperature. If temperature maintain high, this minus into T minus T into delta S value comes very big with a negative sign. So delta G becomes negative, so spontaneous. See, if any process is endothermic process, simple dissolution of sugar in water and a common salt in water, by increasing temperature, its solubility increases. So here, if process is endothermic, to make that process smooth, we need to maintain high temperature. If process is exothermic, we need to maintain low temperature. So these two conditions are also important. Already you know this. And if it is positive, this is a negative. Sorry, same positive, positive, high temperature, non-spontaneous. Delta G is negative, spontaneous. delta G positive, non-spontaneous, delta G is equal to 0, equilibrium. Equilibrium constant Kc is equal to 1, sorry, Kc greater than 1, spontaneous. Equilibrium constant Kc less than 1, non-spontaneous. Equilibrium constant Kc is equal to 1, equilibrium. System is at equilibrium. Yesterday already I gave you the entropy, total entropy of a system plus surrounding. If it is positive, total entropy of system and surrounding, what is that? Process is spontaneous. So this is with equilibrium. Delta S total positive. So this is spontaneous. Delta S total negative, non-spontaneous. Delta S total 0, equilibrium. Okay, see now question number 8. For a reversible reaction, x plus 3y gives rise 2z. Delta H is equal to minus 40 kilojoule. The standard entropies of x, y, z are 60, 40 and 50 joule Kelvin inverse, mole inverse respectively. The temperature at which the above reaction attains equilibrium is about. So at which temperature equilibrium is attained. Okay. So here entropy is a state function. Equilibrium reaction x plus 3y 2z. All are gases. No, entropy is a state function. That's what change in entropy. Delta S is equal to S products minus entropy of reactants. Product is Z, 2Z. Z is 50, no? 2 into 50 minus reactants, x plus 3y. X is 60 plus 2y. Y is 40. 2 into 40, 80. Yeah, 3. 120. So now delta S is equal to -100 minus 180. So minus 80. Delta S we got. Enthalpy of reaction is minus 40 kilojoule. delta S is equal to, this reaction enthalpy is minus 40 kilojoule. Delta H by T. We want T is equal to delta H by delta S. Calculate this value. Delta H is 40 kilojoule, that is. So 40 into, I mean, take 40,000 divided by 80. Yeah, answer is 500 Kelvin. Delta H is 40,000 divided by 80. 500, right? 500 Kelvin. So this is the answer. Actually, this is also minus, this also minus. It become plus now. Delta H is minus 40,000. This also minus. It will become plus and 500 Kelvin. Ninth one, which of the following is an intensive property? Viscosity. Yeah, viscosity is a intensive property. Surface tension also, temperature also. So all of this, answer is all of this. 10th one, thermodynamic standard conditions of temperature and pressure are. So which are calling STP conditions? 298 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure. Oh, sorry, 1 atmosphere pressure. So B is the correct answer. 9th one D, 10th one B. 11th, entropy of the universe is constant, 0, continuously decreasing, continuously increasing. So D is the correct, continuously increasing. 12th, in which of the following process a maximum increase in entropy is observed? So maximum disorderness where we are observing. Melting of ice. Okay, melting of ice, liquid, okay, entropy increases. Sublimation of naphthalene. Yes, here we are observing. Naphthalene is solid. On sublimation, a solid is directly converting into vapor. So in that process, observing more disorderness. Sublimation of naphthalene. Condensation of water, that is negative. Its value is become decreases. Entropy becomes decreases. Dissolution of salt in water, but that is also increases. But in process B is more. 13. Consider the reaction. Carbon plus O2 gives rise CO2 and plus 393.5. So their energy is denoted along with equation. C plus O2 gives rise CO2 plus 393.5 kilojoule. So it means this is exothermic reaction. So here energy is written along with equation, means if we write separately, we can write delta H is equal to minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole, that meaning. So you don't consider it is an endothermic process. It is actually exothermic process. The sign of delta H, delta S and delta G respectively are. Okay, delta H is no doubt negative. And is a combustion reaction, always delta G also negative. It is a spontaneous process, combustion. What about delta S? Delta S is entropy is increased. Yeah, carbon is gas, initial oxygen also gas. But anyhow, during that process, temperature of the system is increases actually. So here this is also gas 1 mole. This is also gas 1 mole. Number of moles equal. But however, during this process, a large amount of heat is released now. Because of that heat, it's carbon dioxide, what we call it is Disorderliness is increases the obtained carbon dioxide. That's what we can consider delta S is equal to positive only, because entropy increase no. So all factors are supporting. This is negative, this is positive, means delta G becomes negative. 14. If 1 mole of ammonia and 1 mole of hydrogen chloride are mixed in a closed container to form ammonium chloride gas, then. So 13. Answer is D, no? 13 is D. (14) 1 mole of ammonia NH3, 1 mole of HCl, both are gases, gives NH4Cl gas. So okay, we need to find relationship between delta H and delta U. We know relation delta H is equal to delta U plus delta NgRT. Here calculate delta Ng value. Number of moles of gaseous product minus number of moles of gaseous reactant. Product is only 1 mole, reactant is gaseous reactant 2 moles. So then delta Ng value is coming -1. It is -1. So delta H is equal to delta U minus delta Ng. Okay, no need to write delta Ng, already 1 now. RT minus 1 RT. So delta U is equal to delta H plus RT. Means delta H U is bigger now. Delta U is bigger value than delta H. So this is the relation. A is the correct answer. Next 15. One mole of which of the following has the highest entropy? Mercury. Now mercury is a liquid. Diamond, it is solid. Liquid nitrogen, it's clearly mentioned that is a liquid. And hydrogen gas. So answer is hydrogen gas. Gases having higher entropy than liquids and then solids. D is correct answer. 16. Consider the Born-Haber cycle for the formation of an ionic compound given below and identify the compound Z formed. So what is Z here? That is some ionic compound. I think here M plus and X minus. Yeah, that's B only correct answer here. M plus X minus. B is the correct answer. Cation is M plus, anion is X minus. Finally, Z obtained product is M plus X minus only. Okay, C also given. Okay, wait. There I think option is not given. M plus X minus solid is correct answer. M plus X minus solid. I think this option is not given here. M plus X minus. So lattice enthalpy definition is when requisite number of gaseous cation and anions combines and forms a solid ionic substance. That is lattice enthalpy. Here delta H5 gives rise to Z is given. So this indicates lattice enthalpy U, or we can write whatever. You can see in Born-Haber cycle there I mentioned U, lattice enthalpy. So because of that process, finally obtained product of solid substance, ionic solid substance must have to get. But in the option not mentioned, answer is M plus X minus solid, that is. 17. The enthalpy of formation of ammonia is minus 46 kilojoule per mole. The enthalpy change for the reaction. Okay. See, enthalpy of formation of ammonia, H2 N2 plus H2 gives rise NH3. According to definition of enthalpy of formation, ammonia here should form only one mole only. So 1 nitrogen means 1/2 nitrogen, 3 hydrogen, so take 3/2 hydrogen. That value is given 46 kilojoule per mole. (46 kilojoule per mole). Suppose to get 2 moles of ammonia, here just multiply this all with 2 number 2. Here comes N2, here 3H2 gives rise to NH3 to get 2 moles of ammonia. But it is not, we don't write it is enthalpy of formation, right? As enthalpy of reaction is equal to minus 92 kilojoule per mole. Okay, the enthalpy change for the reaction. Their reaction is given 2 NH3 gives rise N2 plus 3H2. If you write just reverse the reaction enough. Decomposition of ammonia. 2 moles of ammonia undergoing decomposition giving N2 plus 3H2. Once reaction is reversed, sign become reverse. So here enthalpy of reaction become not standard enthalpy, just leave it. It become plus 92 kilojoule per mole. Very simple question. So this is given. This is also almost same kind of question. 18. Okay, enthalpy is given. We have to calculate entropy. But same way, we need to reverse the reaction also. 18. Enthalpy of vaporization of benzene is 35.3 kilojoule per mole. So benzene liquid, benzene vapor or gas, gaseous form. The enthalpy involved is plus 35.3. kilojoules. At its boiling point, 80 degrees centigrade. Boiling point is mentioned here, 80 degrees centigrade. Boiling point of benzene equal to 80 degrees centigrade. Convert this into kelvins. The entropy change in the transition of the vapor to liquid at its boiling point. Okay, we need to reverse the reaction here. Asking what is the entropy involved when benzene is gaseous benzene becoming liquid benzene. Benzene vapor or gas changing into a benzene liquid. So here enthalpy of condensation, no, benzene gas is converting into liquid means condensation, that is equal to minus 35.3 kilojoule per mole. Okay. Now formula, entropy of vaporization, the change in entropy of vaporization is equal to enthalpy of vaporization divided by here gas is converted liquid means condensation. Better write here condensation. condensation divided by temperature. At which temperature this process is going on. Temperature is mentioned. At same temperature this process is going on, 80 degrees centigrade only. So entropy change is equal to this value minus 35.3 plus kilojoules, no? 35300 divided by temperature 80 degrees centigrade, 80 plus 273. $353 minus divided by 353. So it gives minus 100 joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse. This is delta S. So process is simple but small confusion. Here given enthalpy of vaporization, we have to take that as in enthalpy of condensation. Reverse process we have to take because asking entropy change in the reverse process. B is correct answer. Next, 19th, for the reversible reaction, Gibbs free energy is given minus 350 kilojoule. Which one of the following statement is true? The entropy change is negative. Is it correct? Entropy change is negative. A is solid, B is gas, C is gas, D also gas. So number of gas molecules are more than product gas molecules are more than reactant gas molecules. So entropy is here actually positive. Option B, equilibrium constant is greater than 1. Yes, this is correct. I gave previously if equilibrium constant Kc greater than 1 means spontaneous. So because here delta G value we got a negative sign. Minus 350 kilojoule means this is spontaneous. So the same spontaneous process is further favored by Kc greater than 1. This is correct. Equilibrium constant is greater than 1. B is the correct option. (20) Based on the first law of thermodynamics. Based on first law of thermodynamics, here option A is given. For isochoric process, delta U is equal to minus Q. Okay, I will apply. We know according to first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W. W means work. P delta V. You are saying for isochoric process, delta V is equal to 0. Volume change is 0. Then delta U becomes Q only. But here given delta U is equal to minus Q. So option A is wrong. Option B is for an adiabatic process. Okay, same formula. Adiabatic process Q is equal to 0. So then delta U must becomes P plus P into delta V means W only. But here given minus W. So this is also wrong. C is for an isothermal process. Isothermal process, yeah, temperature is change in temperature is 0. Isothermal process. If temperature delta T is equal to 0 means internal energy also equal to 0. Change in internal energy also, because the change in internal energy is function of temperature. So if delta U is equal to 0 means, okay, I'm writing again from delta U is equal to Q plus W. So you may write Q is equal to minus W. But here given Q is equal to plus W. So that's also wrong. C also wrong. D is for a cyclic process. Right. See, in cyclic process, all state functions like delta U becomes 0, delta H becomes 0, delta S also becomes 0, delta G also becomes 0. All state functions become 0. So if you substitute here 0, then Q is equal to minus W. So option D is only correct one. Next, 21. A gas expands from a volume of 1 meter cube to a volume of 2 meter cube against an external pressure of 10 power 5 dyne meters power minus 2. The work done by the gas will be same form. This formula only we are using. W is equal to P into delta V. Work is equal to P into delta V. So pressure is external pressure is 10 power 5 dyne meter square into delta V. 1 meter cube becoming 2 meter cube. So 2 minus 1, 1 only. So 10 power 5 joules, we may write 10 power 2 into 10 power 3 joules. So 10 power 2, 10 power 3 joules, kilojoules. So answer is 10 square kilojoule. B is the correct answer. (22) The equilibrium constant of a reaction is 0.008 at 298 Kelvin. The standard free energy change of the reaction at the same temperature is. Yesterday I gave you a relation between Gibbs free energy change, standard Gibbs free energy change, and equilibrium constant. 2.303 RT log Kc is the relation. Minus 2.303, 8.314, temperature 298 Kelvin, log Kc is 8 into 10 power minus 3. So here minus and plus 3 into 2.303 into 8.314 into 298 into log 8 value is 0.9. Multiply this value. No. Wait. Log 8 into 10 power minus 3. And this is one value. And plus will comes here actually. This whole value into log 8, 0.9. Okay. This value plus minus 2.303 into 8.314 into 298 into 0.9. Because the log 8 into 10 power minus 3 is according to log A into B, where we need to write log A plus log B. Final answer should come as 11,000 with a positive sign only, 11,964.65 or 11.96 kilojoules. This is the answer. So A is the correct answer. 23. Which of the following statement is true? The total entropy of the universe remains constant. No, total entropy of the universe keeps on increasing only. B is the total entropy of the universe is continuously decreasing. So wrong statement that also. The total energy of the universe is continuously decreasing. That's also wrong. The total energy of the universe is remains constant. Yes, total energy of the universe is constant. Entropy of the universe is actually keeps on increasing. 23D is the correct. 24. The process is spontaneous at the given temperature if the process is spontaneous at the given temperature. Choose here correct option 24. So at a given temperature means at any temperature. At any temperature, which conditions favorable for spontaneous process? Delta H must be negative and delta S is positive. So B is the correct option. The value of entropy of the solar system. Wherever the entropy keeps on increasing only. Yeah. For the thermochemical equation, 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. Delta H is minus 571.6 kilojoule. Heat of decomposition of water is, okay. First, that equation is formation of water, but actually for 2 water molecule formation is given. We have to take for only 1 water molecule. Two H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. Delta H is minus 571.6 kilojoules. Right, only for 1 water molecule, H2 plus half O2 gives rise only 1 water molecule. Half of this value only we have to take. Minus 2, 8, 5.6 kilojoule for water. But this is formation of water molecule. Decomposition reverse. Decomposition H2O decomposes, it gives 1 mole of H2 and half mole of O2. Then delta H becomes reverse, sign only changes, plus 285.6 kilojoule per mole. $85.6, where is answer? 285.8. Actual answer is 8, not 6. 8 plus D is correct answer. $27. The ratio of heat liberated at 298 Kelvin from the combustion of 1 kg of coke and by burning water gas obtained from kg of coke is, okay, coke means made up of carbon only. Assume coke to be 100% carbon. Given enthalpy of combustion of CO2, CO, that is not CO2, actually C. Given enthalpy of combustion of C, CO and H2 are 393.5 kilojoule, 285 kilojoule, 285 kilojoule respectively, all at 298 Kelvin. Okay. Just we have to calculate the ratio of heat liberated by burning 1 kg of coke and 1 kg of coke burning, it gives some amount of water gas. On burning of that water gas, how much amount of heat produces that, and this value ratio we need to find out. given amount of coke is 1 kg. Number of mole of coke equal to 1000 by atomic mass of carbon is 12 only. 8, 3, 83.3. Hmm, 83.3 moles of coke. Okay, by burning of 1 mole of coke means carbon only, gives carbon dioxide, delta H is equal to minus 393.5 kilojoules by burning just 12 grams. By burning this many moles, amount of heat liberated when 1 kg coke burn. Minus 393.5 into 83.3. This much amount of heat is liberated. Now water gas formula CO plus H2 is water gas. So to get this water gas, we are using 1 kilogram of coke. 1 kilogram of coke, if we use this much amount of CO plus H2, water gas is produced. Take only one more. Later this one multiply with the same value, 83.3. And combustion gives CO2 and H2O. So amount of heat liberated. (285), both having 285. 285 only. So to get carbon dioxide, minus 285. To get to H2 also, minus 285 kilojoule of heat is produced. This is just for 1 mole of CO plus H2. This many moles. Amount of heat liberated on combustion of 83.3 moles of water gases. 83.3 into this 285 plus 285, 570 minus, no, yeah, minus, we need to maintain 570. So this much amount of heat is liberated. Now we'll calculate ratio, this by this. Coke, water gas. Coke on burning it gives minus 393.5 into 83.3. Here 570 minus sign only here also into 83.3. So 83.3, 83.3 cancel. Minus minus also cancel. 393.5 is to 570. So calculate the ratio of this. It should give 0.69 is to 1. So this is the answer. It's a too lengthy question. Okay, 28. Conversion of oxygen into ozone is non-spontaneous yet. Conversion of oxygen to ozone is non-spontaneous. It's already we studied in 16th group elements. Conversion of oxygen to ozone. But here enthalpy is must be positive value. So all temperatures, high temperature, room temperature, low at any temperature, conversion of oxygen to ozone is non-spontaneous only. Any temperature, because enthalpy is positive, delta H is positive, and entropy delta S is negative. That's the problem. See here, number of moles decreased, so entropy becomes negative. Both factors are not supporting. Next, 29. In the reaction, S plus 3 by 2 O2 gives rise SO3. Okay, heat of formation of SO2 is. In the reaction, S plus 3 by 2 O2 gives rise SO3 plus 2x kilojoule. So if suppose heat is giving like this, you write in the form of delta H. Otherwise, you will get wrong option, wrong answers. Right? Delta H is equal to plus 2x means 2x amount of heat is released during this process. So write as minus 2x kilojoules. The second reaction is SO2 plus half O2 giving SO3 plus Y, means here enthalpy is, so take as delta H1, this is delta H2. Plus Y means minus Y, kilojoule of heat is released. Okay. So what is the enthalpy of formation of SO2 is? So enthalpy of formation of SO2 we have to get. So this is equation 1. This is equation 2. Okay, do equation 1 minus 2. S plus 3 by 2 O2 minus SO2 minus half O2 gives rise SO3 minus SO3. So these both are cancelled. Sulfur is remaining. Here 3 by 2 O2 half O2. So 1 O2 is left here. 3 by 2 O2 means 1.5. Here 0.5. 0.5 lost, only 1 is left. S plus O2 and minus SO2 move that side. It is giving SO2. So this is only required equation. S plus O2 gives rise SO2. This is the enthalpy of formation of sulfur dioxide. Equal to how much? So we did 1 minus 2. Do 1 minus 2. Minus 2x minus half minus y. Minus 2x plus y. Minus 2x plus y. So this is the answer. Is there any option in this? Minus 2x plus y? No. So option not given. Option not given, that is 29. Yeah, none is given. So actual correct answer is this one. Minus 2x plus y. So if you apply directly here plus 2x plus y, you will get wrong answer surely. That's what, whenever some values are giving along with the equation, you take those as enthalpies. Delta H, plus sign means here minus sign. If you suppose here minus sign means take as here plus sign. Question number 30. If the bond energies of hydrogen, bromine and HBr are 433, 192, 364 kilojoule per mole respectively. Okay, standard enthalpy for the reaction. Okay, here while calculating enthalpy changes, always writing product minus reactant. But in case of bond enthalpies, we have to write reactant minus product. So to calculate a change in entropy or change in enthalpy, whatever, mostly we are writing product minus reactant only. But in case bond energies, write reactant minus product. Summation of bond enthalpy of reactants minus summation of bond enthalpy of products. So bond enthalpy of reactants in the given reaction, H2 plus Br2 gives rise to HBr. Hydrogen and bromine are reactants. This is hydrogen and bromine 433 plus 192. Minus 2 into HBr is 364. Four 33, 192, 625 minus 8, 2, 728. Difference 103. Yeah, minus 103. Answer D is correct option. Okay. See 31. The correct statement regarding entropy is at absolute zero temperature, the entropy of a perfectly crystalline solid is 0. Yes, this is only correct statement. This is the third law of thermodynamics. So when temperature of the substance reaches 0 Kelvin, means absolute zero, entropy of the substance becomes 0. That is only third law of thermodynamics. First statement, A is correct. Okay, 32. A reaction has both delta S and delta H and delta S, both are negative, the rate of reaction. So delta H negative supporting, delta S is not supporting now. Then to make that rate of reaction, okay, how is the rate of reaction at a given statements? Cannot be predicted per change in temperature. Option B is increases with increase in temperature. No, it is already exothermic reaction. If we increase the temperature, rate of reaction means speed of reaction becomes decreases. Increases with decrease in temperature. This is correct. Yes, increases with decrease in temperature. If you maintain low temperature, delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. Delta G is equal to, this is negative already. If we substitute delta S negative at low temperature, overall value will come small. plus sign. With plus sign, small value will comes at low temperature. So then delta G we can maintain negative sign only. So process is spontaneous and speed of chemical reaction also increases. Okay, the reaction in which delta H greater than delta UV is. Your relation is delta H is equal to delta U plus delta NGRT. So to become delta H greater than delta U, here delta NG value should come plus value. That may be plus 0.5 also fine. See in which reaction we will get delta NG value with positive value. Equation 1, N2 plus O2 gives rise to NO, all are gases, delta NG is 0, option A. Option B, CaCO3 solid, CaO solid, CO2 gas. Yes, here okay. CO2 is gas. 1 minus CaCO3 solid 0. So overall value plus 1 delta Ng. Option B is correct. Okay, just now I shared one more page. This is only NCERT book questions. See that? Read Gushi, first question. Likita, did you receive that page?
Yes,
1
sir.
minute, sir, it's loading, sir.
Okay.
Which one of the following pairs does not represent the example of intensive property?
Okay, which are not intensive properties. Okay. See, temperature and density, these are intensive property. They won't depend upon amount of substance. Pressure and molar volume also. If volume is in extensive property, but molar volume is not extensive. Molar volume is 22.4 liter. Whatever the gas you take, it always occupies 22.4 liter only. So that is also intensive property. Pressure also. Molar heat capacity and density, yes, these are intensive property. Heat capacity and enthalpy, these are extensive properties. If you take more amount of substance, it having more means just by burning of 1 gram of carbon gives less amount of heat. By burning 10 tons of carbon, it produces a large amount of heat. So enthalpy is extensive property. Heat capacity also. Heat capacity, suppose if you take 1 gram of water, it absorbs only 4.184 kilojoule of heat. 1 gram. But if you take 10 grams, it absorbs 41.84 kilojoules. So these both are extensive properties. D is the correct one. See second, which one of the following equation does not correctly represent the first law of thermodynamics for the given process? So this kind of question already we solved. In isothermal process, A is isothermal process. In isothermal process, delta T is equal to 0, so delta U also becomes 0. So according to first law of thermodynamics, we know delta U is equal to Q plus W, or delta U is equal to Q plus P into dV. Okay, U becomes 0, then Q is equal to minus W. Okay, A is correct. B is cyclic process. In cyclic process, we know delta U becomes 0. So there also Q equal to minus W, or W is equal to minus Q, fine. Then C, isochoric process. In isochoric process means volume change is 0. Delta V is equal to 0. Substitute here. Full term becomes 0. Delta U is internal energy. We can show that is as delta E also. Delta E is equal to Q. Yeah, C also correct. D is adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, Q is 0. So then delta U becomes equal to W. But here given delta U or delta E, whatever, we can write internal energy, minus W is given. So D is only correct. Means incorrect statement, that is incorrect option. So E is expansion of a gas into vacuum. Yeah, expansion of a gas in vacuum means external pressure is 0. Then delta U or delta E is equal to Q only. Option E also okay, but only D incorrect. Third one, delta E is always positive when. So internal energy is always positive when system absorb heat and work is done on it. Yeah, system is absorbing heat and we are doing some work on the system. So because of this, internal energy of the system increases. A is only correct option. Option B is system emit heat and work is done on it. Okay, we are doing some work on system and equal amount of heat is given out. So here internal energy of system is not increased. It is absorbed, but same amount of heat is given out as in the form of work. C is system emit heat and no work is done on it. So because of this, its internal energy decreases. Option D, system absorbed heat and work is done by it. Okay, it is absorbed heat and work is done by it. So it is doing work. Here also equal. 100 kilojoule of heat is absorbed. Equal amount of work is done by the system. Then no internal energy change. So only option A is correct. It is absorbing heat and also externally doing work on that. That's what its internal energy increases higher. Fourth, 1 mole of an ideal gas at 300 Kelvin is expanded isothermally from an initial volume of 1 liter to 10 liter. So the internal energy changes. Delta E is for the processes. Simple answer. 0, right? Because gas is expanding isothermally. In isothermal process, delta T is equal to 0, then delta U or delta E internal energy change also 0. Okay. So remaining questions we'll discuss tomorrow, Saturday class. And Sunday, I will share you another PDF. Everyone must do 100 questions. Select your wish, that's 100 questions. Write in notebook. Learn and write on notebook. Okay, thank you.